lighten up, and the reason we've got two is just so that we can look also at how we can copy and paste attributes from one image to another. So if you've got multiple images on your timeline, then you'll want to color correct one and then copy and paste those attributes, that one color corrected image, to another video. So this is shot at sunset, so it's kind of darker looking footage. We're going to go to the color option up here at the top. That will bring up our Lumetri scopes on the right, or our Lumetri color corrector here, and our Lumetri scopes up here on the top left. And I'm going to select my clip. Okay. And basically we can see that all the light areas of the image here, so above 60%, are empty of color information. So that basically means all the color information in this image is somewhere around 60%, so close to the mid color range, down to 0, so it's a darker looking image. So the way that this scope works is that we're looking at the image from left to right. So the brighter parts of the image here would be the shoulders and the head here, and then this white is probably the white of the saddle here. You can see a little bit of white showing up here and a little bit of a brighter white showing up here. So we can see the brighter parts of the image, so we can start to read where those are, and that will help with our color correction when we can actually read this as well. So this is the quick version of how to do it. We're just going to use curves to adjust this. So if we jump into our curves here with our image selected, then we're looking to raise the midtones of the image. So we're going from the black of the image here to the lighter area of the image here, and so the midtones for our entire image is here. So basically we've got white, and then our red, green and blue that we talked about for the last lab as well. So basically we can affect these channels individually to color correct, or we can change the brightness of the whole image. So if I click on this line and then just drag up, you can see if I move the playhead, now it's adjusted, so it's pulled all that color information up. So none of my peaks here have moved above 100%, so I haven't lost any color information. I'm not whitening any parts of the image that I don't want to, or blowing them out. If I lift this up further, then you'll see that basically some of these parts of the images become blown out. So basically we're losing color information as soon as we hit that 100% mark in the scopes up here on the top left. Okay, so if we pull this down again, then we're lifting that color information up, but I'm carefully sort of managing that curve so that we're brightening it, but basically increasing the range of color throughout that. We might want to add a bit of shadow back in, so if we click on this again, we can drop some of the darker parts of the image down, so we get a bit more shadow in the image, and then we can modify our image accordingly to get the kind of look that we want. Okay. If we have two clips like we do here, the first clip is lightened up. Actually, I'm just going to lighten this up here as well a little bit. It's too dark. There we go. So we've lightened up this first image, but the second image is still dark. Now, if we have multiple clips, I'm just going to fake this. So we've got 3 other clips here as well. They're all the same, but the kind of process is the important bit. So we've got a clip here, and then all these other 3 clips that are the same copy of that are dark too. So if I hover over this clip and then right click, or go to, whoa, I was just being slow, go to copy, so I'm copying this clip, and then if I come to my next clip and go to edit, or right click and go to paste attributes, that will allow me to paste the attributes of that clip. So basically I've got the motion there, so scale and rotation, but I just want to paste the color correction. So if I click OK here, it's going to paste that color correction, and now both those are lifted up. So for these last 2 images, just to show you, you can select more than one clip and then right click and go to paste attributes, and that will allow you to paste the color correction onto more than one clip. If you have clips, say throughout an interview, that aren't next to one another, then you can use control to, is it control? oh sorry, Command on the Mac. I'm imagining I'm on a PC because I'm using no. It's just Shift. Yeah. Every time it's different. So different variations of selecting different items mean that you need to use variations of Control, Command, or Shift. But here, to select clips that aren't in order, we can use Shift to do that. Okay. In other instances, it will select things in the list, but here it just selects things on the timeline out of order. That's the key thing. So we can select things from anywhere on the timeline or remove from that selection. Okay. And then edit paste attributes to paste those properties. Okay. Yeah, so if we're selecting a long section, we can drag a marquee around that and then deselect items within that selection and then paste our attributes if we need to do it that way. Okay. If we have added effects and then we want to remove them, so we've added a color effect and we want to remove it, then we would go up to the effect controls and you'll have your Lumetri color in here as an effect, and we can just hover our playhead over here, delete that, delete that in the effect controls. Okay, so basically we can add and remove color effects up there. We can also, I just did edit undo there, or Command Z, we can turn the effect on and off. So if we want to try out different color corrections, we could add multiple ones and then see which one kind of fit what we wanted. Okay, so that's the shortish answer for how to lighten an image.